I don't know about you, but I love laughing at idiots. It's such a good, productive way to pass the time. Well, maybe not productive, but it's sure good. Another thing I love doing to pass the time is standing by the tracks for hours on end waiting for Gevos. And it turns out that these two things surprisingly go hand in hand, because a lot of people who also stand by the tracks for hours on end waiting for Gevos, let's just say their IQs are a little down there. Am I an exception? That's actually up for debate. Like and subscribe or I'll send NS to derail outside your house. First post I'll show is from an unhinged retired railroader who seems to be fed up with foamers chasing his train. Hello, the idiots of rail fanning. I would like to have a talk. I am a retired engineer and I want to talk about some things these younger idiots do. I personally feel like whenever I have been chased, I retired in 2022, I felt like I was being stalked. I had someone one time in a black Lexus that looked brand new chase my train over 200 miles, and I felt uncomfortable because he would point his video camera right into the cab and film my conductor when he's on the ground. My conductor was very uncomfortable and considered calling them in because he felt like we were being stalked. He was new to the company, so I can only assume he does not know what a railfan is. Secondly, stop the maniac driving. I always get a kick out of it when these younger railroad enthusiasts would drive like absolute lunatics and endanger others just to chase my train. It is not worth it. What is special about it? We are just trying to do our jobs. Spelling 100. So just a point I would like to add, you could like sit somewhere and there were way more trains back in the day, and those trains that did come were likely a lot better than the ones we see now. The reason we get so excited and we chase trains for hundreds of miles, which hundreds of miles is a little bit excessive, but the reason we do it is because 90% of trains are just Gevos. And if we see something special, we kind of go crazy over it and we tend to just follow it to make it last as long as possible. I guess I can understand to an extent. It must be pretty weird to be a railroader and see some idiot driving recklessly just to get ahead of your train. And I can see why I'd give the illusion you were being stalked. The comments also have some valid points. I think it's hilarious how people expect privacy when they're out in public, and the fact that you wrote a novel complaining about this is even funnier. Simple solution, make it illegal like it was done after 9/11. It's not always about the specific train, a lot of times it's the setting. I'll follow a train for a long time just to get a train in different locations with different scenery. I do the same thing, and I think a lot of people also do. This guy is not the brightest bulb. I don't get the chasing thing. Catch it once, maybe twice, and either go home or wait for another train. If you aren't satisfied with your shot, you should have planned better. See, the thing is, you can only plan so much with trains. They're pretty unpredictable, and like the weather too. If there's two good shots nearby, and I get clouded at one of them, I'm gonna go to that other spot and try to get the sun. The second post basically speaks for itself. Someone left this train running, and as a good rail fanner, I turned it off for them. Wow, everyone. Let's give this guy a big round of applause. Don't want to stretch the parking brake chain, so always release any tension. Great job, bro. This will benefit the shareholders and they can get more money. I'm proud of you. Did you smile for the camera in the cab? See, now that's what I was wondering. Hurry, hurry. We need to get crappy wedges of this Gevo. Oh, look at that. Teenage foamers getting in their mom's brand new car ready to drive recklessly just to get shots of a fancy Gevo. Relatable. Did bro almost just drive off without all the foamers in the car? Bro really said, if you don't hurry up, we're leaving without you. The train's more important than you are. Foamers will stop at no end to get the shot they want. Anything for the shot. I don't know about you, but I've never been a huge fan of head-on shots like the one this guy is trying to get. They just don't hit the same. They definitely hit something though, the photographer taking them. Here's another example. When Big Boy was crossing the Huey P. Long out of New Orleans one Sunday morning in August when she was in town. A few of us chased her over the bridge on our bikes. It was a great ride. I don't see a crosswalk anywhere. What I do see is 2 lines of stopped traffic on what looks to be an interstate, which isn't exactly a good thing. That shoulder is pretty much non-existent. On a scale from 1 to 10 of dangerous and stupid, I'd rate this a solid 11.5. I would highly advise against standing on the shoulder of any freeway if you can avoid it, but if the shoulder is this tight, you're just asking for trouble, especially given that you're closest to the farthest left lane where traffic is going to be traveling fastest. In this case, there's a traffic jam likely caused by the foamer standing over here. Look at where they park too. There is just so much wrong with this. You know what? I think that boomer engineer and the beginner kind of had a point. Foamers drive way too recklessly nowadays. We all remember Sebastian de Jong, the kid who flipped a switch and showed the world how to do it. Kind of him, really. I and many others wouldn't know how to tamper with railroad switches properly if it wasn't for him. I'm kidding, of course, but the guy in this clip is seen here giving foamers all across the world a role model to look up to. Just look at how great his response to this unlocked switch is.
There is no lock on this switch, so theoretically I could throw it if I wanted to, which I will not do because I'm not Sebastian D. I'm the Railfan.
Not all heroes wear capes. I think we can all agree. We don't just need more people like him. We need to be like him. Ah yes, the infamous foamer with the vest. Don't worry, foamers. If you have your high vis on, you're technically not breaking any laws. Everybody knows that the best videos are from inside the gauge, am I right? Caden James, everybody, our local vest-wearing foamer up here. Worst thing about this is I've seen his parents take him out and encourage this type of behavior. I took that photo. I would like to know who gave it to you. I shared it with a small group of people for my own reasons, without the intent of it actually reaching the internet. I'm not going to ask you to take it down, but if you could, I would really appreciate it. Yep, the shot still stands today, so too bad for you. That's clearly a railroad employee, Max. He's wearing a yellow vest from the dollar store, so he must be authorized, right? Bonus points if he's got earbuds in and music loud. Typical foam-tard. Hey, bro stole my word. Surely he knows that a train could take over a mile to stop. Well, of course, Jack Weinberg. He's wearing a vest. He literally works for the railroad. NS 315 meets NS 316 somewhere in Australia. Chat, am I the only one who didn't know NS had trackage in Australia? Man, the poor kangaroos, I feel bad. As a small child, I always thought it would be cool to try outrunning a train. I'm sure every small child has had similar thoughts at some point. Yeah, the only problem here is this isn't a small child. Small brain, sure, but not a small child. People really need to stop having main character syndrome, bro. It's only making them and the entire railfanning community look worse. Just like the kid who derailed an entire train in an attempt to get views. Check out the coverage on that idiot. Here, let's say 2,000 likes, I'll cook up part 2. Maybe less, I don't know, depends what I feel like.